The impossible connection. The bridge of the horizon hummed with tension as Commander Maya Santos studied the holographic display. The ancient structure looming on the planet's surface wasn't supposed to be there. According to all galactic records, this system was uninhabited, a blank spot in the cosmic ledger. Yet there it stood, an enormous facility of impossible architecture, its metallic surface gleaming under the light of twin suns. Life signs? Maya asked, her dark eyes never leaving the display. Lieutenant Ravi Kapoor shook his head. None that we can detect, Commander. But energy readings are unusual. Nothing I've ever seen before. Maya absently touched the neural implant at her temple, a small hexagonal device with softly pulsing blue lights. The experimental tech had saved her life after a deep space accident 3 years ago, rebuilding damaged neural pathways with synthetic ones. The doctors had warned her it might cause unexpected sensory experiences. Right now, it was tingling like mad. Prep the shuttle, she decided. First contact protocol. Chief Science Officer Elena Volkov frowned. With respect, Commander, we don't know what's down there. Those energy signatures don't match anything in our database. That's precisely why we're going, Maya replied with a hint of a smile. The United Earth Confederation didn't send us to the edge of known space to ignore the unknown. The shuttle descended through swirling clouds of amber dust. As they approached the structure, its true scale became apparent, a sprawling complex that seemed to defy conventional engineering, with segments that appeared to phase in and out of reality. Maya's implant throbbed more intensely. She could almost hear something, a whisper just beyond comprehension. The away team consisted of Maya, Elena, Ravi, and Security Chief Darian Cole, a former Special Ops soldier with more combat experience than the rest of them combined. They landed on what appeared to be a landing pad, though its geometry shifted subtly as they watched. Stay alert, Maya ordered as the airlock cycled. Standard first contact procedures. We observe, we document. We don't touch anything without clearance. The moment her boots touched the surface, Maya gasped. Her implant flared with unexpected intensity, and for an instant she could feel the structure around them, as if it were an extension of her own nervous system. Commander. Cole was at her side instantly, pulse rifle at the ready. What's wrong? Maya steadied herself against the shuttle. I'm fine. Just a reaction from my implant. Let's proceed. The interior of the structure defied explanation. Corridors stretched in impossible directions, sometimes appearing to loop back on themselves. Surfaces that looked solid would turn transparent as they approached, revealing chambers filled with technology so advanced it appeared magical. This architecture, Elena whispered, scanning everything with her datapad. It's not built according to any physical principles we understand. It's like reality itself is being rewritten around us. Commander, Ravi called from ahead. You need to see this. They entered what appeared to be a central chamber. At its heart floated a crystalline object about the size of a human head. It pulsed with interior light that shifted through colors humans had no names for. Surrounding it was a field of energy that distorted the space around it. What is it? Maya asked, her implant now practically singing with energy. Before anyone could answer, the air shimmered, and they were no longer alone. The aliens materialized without warning. Tall, elegant beings with silvery skin that seemed to contain galaxies beneath its surface. Their eyes were pools of liquid darkness, and they moved with a grace that suggested mastery over gravity itself. Humans, one of them said, the word appearing directly in Maya's mind rather than being spoken aloud. You should not be here. This is not for you. Maya stepped forward, hand raised in the universal gesture of peace. I am Commander Maya Santos of the United Earth Confederation vessel Horizon. We come in peace and with respect. The alien's attention fixed on her temple, on the neural implant. You are altered, different from the others of your kind we have observed. I have a neural implant, Maya explained. It helps me function after an injury. The alien approached, moving with liquid grace. You carry technology merged with biology. Interesting. Perhaps significant. The other aliens conferred silently, their thoughts a closed circuit from which Maya was excluded. Finally, the first one addressed her again. I am Sentinel Vexler of the Vexari Continuum. This facility houses a weapon of our creation, a quantum restructuring device capable of unmaking reality across multiple star systems. It was sealed here when our civilization reached its apex, a safeguard against our own hubris. Maya felt her blood run cold. A weapon? Is it active? It has been dormant for millennia. Vexler replied. Until your arrival, something about your presence has triggered its awakening protocols. As if on cue, the crystalline object at the center of the room pulsed more intensely, its energy field expanding. Maya's implant responded with painful intensity. The quantum restructuring field is building, Elena reported, her voice tight with alarm as she studied her scanner. Whatever that thing is, it's powering up. Can you shut it down? Maya asked Vexler. The alien's expression was unreadable. The control systems were designed to prevent interference. Once activated, the device follows its programmed sequence to completion. And what happens when it completes? Cole demanded. A cascading quantum collapse that will restructure matter across 12 light years, came the emotionless reply. What you would call destruction, though it is merely transformation on a scale your minds cannot comprehend. Maya's thoughts raced. 12 light years would encompass not only this system but several nearby ones, including a recently established human colony. There must be a way to stop it, she insisted. Vexler studied her with those infinite dark eyes. The device was created to be unstoppable, a final solution to conflicts that threatened our species. Its security protocols are beyond even our current understanding, knowledge lost in the eons since its creation. The crystal pulsed again, and Maya felt a corresponding surge in her implant. There was a connection there, something calling to her. Without fully understanding why, she stepped toward the device. Commander, wait, Elena called, but Maya barely heard her. As she approached the quantum restructuring device, the pain in her implant transformed into something else, understanding. The synthetic neural pathways in her brain were somehow resonating with the alien technology, creating a feedback loop that translated into comprehensible patterns. I can feel it, she said wonderingly. It's like it's talking to me. Vexler moved with sudden urgency. Stop. Your primitive neural technology cannot possibly interface with our quantum systems. The resulting feedback could destroy your mind. But Maya knew, with a certainty beyond rational thought, that she needed to continue. The device was responding to her presence in a way it hadn't responded to the Vexari. Her human brain, augmented by technology but still fundamentally human, was processing the quantum information differently. Commander Santos, Cole's voice was sharp with alarm. Step back from that thing. That's an order. Maya ignored him, reaching toward the crystalline structure. Her implant was now glowing visibly through her skin, pulsing in perfect synchronization with the alien device. Trust me, she whispered, though whether to her crew or herself, she wasn't sure. The moment her fingertips touched the crystal surface, the world exploded into information. Maya's consciousness expanded beyond her body, beyond the room, connecting with the vast quantum network that powered the device. She could see its purpose now, not destruction, but protection. The Vexari had created it as a failsafe, a way to reset reality if their experiments with quantum manipulation went catastrophically wrong. But they had programmed it with their own logic, their own understanding of consciousness and reality. They never anticipated contact with a mind that processed reality in fundamentally different ways. And they certainly never anticipated Maya Santos. Through the blinding cascade of quantum data, Maya could see the device's activation sequence unfolding, and she could see the flaws in its logic, the assumptions based on Vexari neurology that didn't apply to her human mind. Where they saw only linear pathways, she saw alternatives, where they programmed certainty, her human capacity for intuitive leaps found possibilities. The device had been designed to be unstoppable by any single consciousness, but Maya wasn't a single consciousness anymore. She was human intuition augmented by technology, interfacing with alien quantum systems in ways the original designers never imagined possible. And in that impossible connection, she found the key. The crystal pulsed once more, blindingly bright. And then, silence. The energy field collapsed, and Maya staggered backward, caught by Elena before she could fall. What did you do?" Vexler asked, something like awe in the alien's mental voice. Maya struggled to find words for what had happened. "I didn't try to stop it directly. That would have been impossible, like you said. Instead, I convinced it that its task was already complete. I showed it a simulation of the quantum restructuring that satisfied its programming." The Vexeri conferred again, their thoughts moving faster than Maya could follow even with her enhanced perception. "Impossible," Vexler finally said. "The quantum authentication protocols would reject any simulation." Maya smiled weakly. "Not if the simulation came from within the system itself. My implant created a bridge. It let me think like your technology, while still being human. I found a third option your creators never considered." As the implications dawned on the aliens, Maya felt darkness encroaching on her vision. The neural overload had taken its toll. The last thing she saw before consciousness slipped away was the face of Vexler, regarding her with what could only be described as astonishment. The impossible had happened. A human mind had outthought the most advanced weapon in the galaxy, not through superior technology, but through the uniquely human ability to imagine alternatives where none seemed to exist. And as Maya collapsed, the first chapter of humanity's new place in the galactic order was just beginning to unfold. Evolution through connection. Maya awoke to the soft beeping of medical equipment. The familiar ceiling of the Horizon's medical bay came into focus as her eyes adjusted to the light. Dr. Imani Okoro leaned over her, scanner in hand. "Welcome back, Commander," the doctor said with evident relief. "You've been unconscious for nearly 36 hours. Maya tried to sit up, only to be gently pushed back down. "The weapon, the Vexeri, is deactivated, thanks to you," came Elena's voice from nearby. The science officer stepped into view, dark circles under her eyes suggesting she hadn't slept much. "Though none of us understand exactly what you did." Memory flooded back, the impossible connection with the alien device, the cascade of quantum information, finding the solution that shouldn't have existed. "My implant," Maya said, reaching for her temple. The hexagonal device felt warm to the touch, and when her fingers brushed it, fragments of alien code flickered across her vision. "It's changed," Dr. Okoro confirmed. "The neural pathways have reconfigured in ways I can't begin to understand. It's as if your brain and the implant have evolved together, creating something entirely new." A diplomatic chime sounded at the door, and Chief Cole entered. "Commander, our guests are requesting to see you." Maya blinked. Guests. The Vexari delegation. 3 of them, including the one called Vexler. "They've been waiting since we brought you back to the ship." With Dr. Okoro's reluctant approval, Maya dressed in her uniform and made her way to the ship's conference room. Each step felt strange, as if gravity had subtly changed while she slept. Her implant continued to process information differently. She could almost sense the ship's systems around her, the flow of data through the neural networks that kept the Horizon functioning. The conference room doors slid open to reveal 3 Vexeri standing in perfect stillness around the table. Their silvery skin rippled with subsurface light when they turned toward her. "Commander Santos," Vexler's thoughts touched her mind. "We are gratified by your recovery." Maya nodded, taking a seat at the head of the table. Her senior officers flanked her, Elena, Cole, and Ravi, all watching the aliens with wary fascination. "I believe we have much to discuss," Maya said. "Indeed." Vexler gestured, and a holographic display appeared above the table, a perfect representation of the quantum restructuring device. What you accomplished should not have been possible. No Vexari mind could have interfaced with the device as you did. I'm still not entirely sure how I did it, Maya admitted. It was as if my implant translated the quantum data into patterns my human brain could comprehend. One of the other Vexari, introduced as Nexus Tavur, a theoretical physicist, leaned forward. Our analysis suggests that your neural implant's adaptive algorithms, combined with your uniquely human cognitive processes, created what we would call an impossible bridge between incompatible systems. Impossible, yet it happened, Maya noted. Precisely. Vexler's mental voice carried undertones of excitement now. This is why we have come. For eons, the Vexari continuum has reached technological plateaus we could not surpass. Our logical processes are too structured, too predictable. We create technological marvels, yet we cannot think beyond certain boundaries. Ravi frowned. You're saying you're too logical, too smart. We are saying, the third Vexari interjected, that intelligence without creativity becomes self-limiting. The quantum restructuring device was the pinnacle of our technological achievement, and also our greatest failure. We created a system so perfect it could not be controlled if something went wrong. Maya understood suddenly. You built a lock without a key. A precise analogy, Vexler agreed. We assumed no intelligence could subvert the device's protocols once activated. We did not consider that a different form of intelligence, one less structured, more intuitive, might find solutions we could not see. Elena leaned forward, her scientific curiosity overcoming her caution. You're talking about human cognitive processes, our ability to make intuitive leaps, to connect seemingly unrelated concepts. Human creativity, Tavir confirmed. Combined with your adaptive technology, it created something our civilization has never encountered: unpredictable innovation. The implications were staggering. The Vexari weren't just acknowledging human achievement. They were suggesting that humanity possessed something their vastly more advanced civilization lacked. What does this mean for our species? Maya asked. Vexler's mental voice became solemn. It means, Commander Santos, that the Vexari Continuum wishes to propose an alliance unlike any we have ever offered. We have technology and knowledge beyond your comprehension. You have creativity and cognitive flexibility we can no longer evolve. Together, we could achieve what neither species could alone. The conference room fell silent as the humans processed this extraordinary proposal. Cole finally spoke, his security officer's caution evident. And the weapon? There are others like it. 17 such devices throughout our former territories, confirmed the third Vexari, whose name was Architect Zinver. All potentially vulnerable to the same awakening protocols that were triggered by your commander's unique neural signature. The implications were clear. 17 doomsday weapons scattered across the galaxy, each capable of destroying multiple star systems, and now potentially activating due to humanity's expanding presence in space. We don't have the capability to help you with all these devices, Maya said carefully. Not yet, Vexler agreed. But your neural implant has begun an evolutionary process that we believe will continue. Already your mind is processing information differently, is it not? Maya nodded slowly. She'd been aware of it since waking. The way her thoughts seemed to flow along new pathways, how she could almost perceive the data architecture around her. The connection you establish with our technology has changed you, Tavir explained. Not in a harmful way, but as an adaptation. Your implant has incorporated elements of our quantum processing, while retaining your fundamentally human cognitive structures. You're saying I'm becoming something new, Maya realized. Not Vexari, not fully human anymore. You are becoming a bridge, Vexler corrected. The first of what could be many, humans and Vexari working together, not just as allies, but as complementary intelligences, each providing what the other lacks. Elena's scientific mind raced ahead to the implications. You want to develop neural interface technology based on Commander Santos' implant. You want more humans to be able to interface with your systems. With appropriate safeguards and only for willing participants, Zinver clarified. What your commander experienced was dangerous, a forced connection that could have destroyed her mind. We envisioned something more refined, more balanced. Maya stood and walked to the viewport, gazing out at the stars. The implant at her temple pulsed with a now familiar rhythm, and she could almost see the quantum possibilities spreading out before her, timelines and potentials, risks and rewards. This goes beyond first contact protocols, she said finally. This is a decision that would affect our entire species, potentially change our evolutionary path. As it would change ours, Vexler acknowledged. But consider the alternative, Commander. 17 quantum restructuring devices, scattered across the galaxy, all potentially activating as humanity expands into space. Without this alliance, millions could die before we find and neutralize them all. Maya turned back to face the room. And with this alliance, what do you foresee? For the first time, Vexler's mental voice carried something close to emotion, a sense of wonder and possibility that transcended the aliens' usual cool logic. With this alliance, we foresee evolution for both our species, technologies beyond what even the Vexari can currently imagine, solutions to problems that have plagued our civilization for millennia. And for humanity, knowledge, protection, and a place among the elder races of the galaxy thousands of years before you would otherwise achieve it. The proposal was breathtaking in its scope and implications. Maya looked at her officers, seeing the same mix of caution and excitement she felt. I need to consult with my superiors, she said finally. This goes beyond my authority as an expedition commander. Of course, Vexler agreed. But perhaps, while formal discussions proceed, we might begin a more limited exchange. Your implant requires stabilization after the trauma it experienced. We can help with that, and in the process, demonstrate the benefits of our proposed cooperation. Dr. Okoro, who had been monitoring Maya's vital signs remotely, spoke up through the comm system. From a medical perspective, Commander, I recommend accepting their help. Your neural patterns are showing increasing instability. If the Vexari can help stabilize the implant, it would be in your best interest. Maya considered briefly, then nodded. Agreed, but all procedures happen here, on the horizon, under Dr. Okoro's supervision. Acceptable, Vexler replied. 3 days later, Maya stood on the observation deck, watching as a Vexari cruiser emerged from what could only be described as a fold in space itself, technology far beyond humanity's current understanding of faster-than-light travel. The ship was beautiful in its alien elegance, a crystalline structure that seemed to exist partially in dimensions humans couldn't perceive. Her implant, now stabilized and enhanced with Vexari quantum technology, allowed her to perceive aspects of the vessel that would have been invisible before. The neural work the Vexari had done had transformed her implant from a medical necessity into something revolutionary, a true interface between human intuition and alien quantum processing. Commander, Ravi's voice came through her comm. United Earth Command is hailing us. Admiral Chen wants a full briefing on the Vexari proposal. Tell them I'll be right there, Maya replied, her eyes still on the alien vessel. As she turned to leave, her enhanced perception caught something, a flicker of data from the Vexari ship that wasn't meant for human systems. The implant translated it automatically, coordinates and activation signatures for the 17 quantum restructuring devices scattered across the galaxy. The Vexari weren't just proposing an alliance, they were already trusting humanity with their most dangerous secrets. The weight of that trust settled on Maya's shoulders, along with the responsibility it entailed. Whatever came next would change the course of human history. The discovery of the Vexari and their technology would accelerate humanity's development by centuries, perhaps millennia. But it was not the Vexari's advanced technology that had made this possible. It was the uniquely human ability to think differently, to find connections and possibilities where more logical minds saw none. A weapon designed to be the ultimate expression of alien logic had been defeated not by superior technology, but by the chaotic creativity of the human mind. proving once again that in the vast equation of galactic civilization, humanity's greatest strength lay not in what they built, but in how they thought. As Maya headed to the briefing room to change the future of two species, she smiled at the irony. The most advanced civilization in the known galaxy needed humanity precisely because they were less advanced, less logical, and infinitely more creative. Sometimes, the most powerful weapon in the universe was the ability to imagine what others could not, and that was a weapon humanity wielded like no other species in the galaxy.